as a scientist and someone who is interested in skin and the wellness, I've been also looking at the skin microbiome. And it's interesting, just like we have lots and lots of bacteria on the inside, we have lots and lots of the same bacteria on the outside, all over our skin. And by the way, for those who came later, I'm just realizing I am Evelyne Nyairo. I am the founder of Ellie Bianca. We are a Canadian brand out of Calgary, and our brand is built on 3 pillars: kind to your skin, kind to the earth, and kind to women. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So we promote sustainability, and of course, being that I've been in the environmental sustainability world, I did not want to leave that aspect, because we want to make sure that our products are coming from the right place, they're fair trade, but we're also ensuring that those trees are there tomorrow so that our children can also have beautiful glowing skin. We empower women through business partnership. We offer scholarships to single mothers. We have the Ellie Bianca Women Foundation, where single mothers who truly want to change their lives and want to go to school, we will give them a scholarship to do that. And truly, we want to give you luxury products. We did not want to just make any product. So our brand is not for everyone. We wanted to, there's a class to it, and why there's a class to it is we are innovatively formulating our products. We are really researching them from a scientific perspective, but we want them to be truly natural. Starting from even the boxes, our boxes come from 100% recyclable paper, and the paper has come from certified sustainable forestry, meaning that when those trees were cut, they were not just cut randomly because we wanted to make paper. They were cut and some were replanted, just to make sure that there's continuity of that natural resource. Up to the ink that we use to print on our boxes, that ink is soy-based, meaning it's biodegradable. So when you throw the box out, it actually degrades over time. It's not just to declutter the environment. So we are passionate about kind to the earth. And then, of course, we are passionate about fair trade. We want to ensure that we're reducing our carbon footprint, truly be a true sustainable brand. But really, you can tell from the story that I told you that where we start is kind to women. And there's tons of women. By the way, in Kenya, we have a few customers, but there's so many who keep saying, when are you bringing Ellie Bianca to Kenya? When and where can we find it? So we are in the last stages of finalizing contract with a retailer in Kenya, so you can actually purchase our product right here in Nairobi, so you don't have to be paying shipping to get your product for some of you that use our brand. Why is the skin super important? The skin is the largest organ. Anyone know that the skin is the largest organ? So can you imagine, this is your largest organ, because sometimes we think that it's the liver, it's the inner organs that are so important, but this outer piece is actually the largest organ, and for me, I believe that it's the most important, because why? It's acting as protection, right? The skin runs 3 main functions: elimination, protection, and temperature regulation. So if we don't have skin, we're not going to breathe. We're not going to eliminate toxins. So super, super, super important. The other piece that I started talking about when I was talking about the skin microbiome is knowing that we carry a unique population of microbes, right? And so when we bring the microbe, which we are called as microbiota, and collectively that genome, that family is the microbiome. So the skin has tons and tons of bacteria, right? Which can help manage infection, which can also protect, like it's basically protecting our skin from infections, or make sure that we actually don't become vulnerable. Mm-hmm. So our skin is the first gateway to our immune system defense. So we could be having some immunity issues, but it all stems back to how did we handle our skin at the beginning. So a little story is that my daughter was that very careful mother of use hand sanitizer before you touch her. Whenever, if the food dropped, I did not I sanitized everything with bleach. boiled the bottles the way I saw my mom do it. But she ended up developing an immune system issue, which basically eczema on the outside, and then on the inside, because our gut was not strong, she started having asthma. Yeah. So you see that someone who has eczema, you will see that they also have asthma. And we've had, what I had to do is send her to the farm. A friend of mine has a farm. Send her to the farm so she can touch animals. Send her to my other sister who has a dog so she can play with the dog. And I would never have thought of having a pet. Now we have a cat as I'm trying to help build her immune system. So and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Don't be afraid to get dirty. Roughly, we want to be at about 5.6. That acidic, that perfect skin that has no issues, and when your gut is in the right spot, you're at about 5.6. But normally, we range between 4 and 7. Depending on what we're eating on the outside, depending on how dusty and it is outside in Nairobi, the air conditions, depending on what you're eating, depending on the age, because as we age, naturally our body chemistry is going to change, that pH goes off. So we constantly have to work hard to make sure that we're maintaining it. And there's ways to taste your skin pH. I don't know if they sell them at Healthy You, those pH strips here, where you can check your pH. The other piece to mention is our natural sebum, which is basically, and we'll see a little bit of the picture, the natural sebum, which regulates oil production, whether we become oily or we become dry. We also need to make sure that we are managing that, because if we're eating the wrong foods or applying the wrong products, we're going to change that oil production. Or if we're stressed out, if we mess up our hormones, right? Or if we are going through menopause, or adolescence, depending on where we are in life, we can change the sebum aspect as well. The first step is read your label. If you cannot pronounce it, investigate. You might find that it's just a scientific name, and that's okay. It's just a Latin name, and that's okay. But when it starts now to show you a little bit more that it's synthetically made, then you ask yourself, should I be putting this on my skin or not? Some things, especially in the beauty and food world, we cannot avoid them because some of them act as preservatives. And it's recently, maybe in the last 5 or so years, that we're starting to see natural preservatives that are effective, but we're yet to test them to understand how stable can they be in the long term. But the most common ones that you're going to see are synthetic. They are derived from parabens. They are important in making sure that products stay safe for our application and they're staying stable on the shelf. But investigate. Lots of water in product, lots of waxes in product, they end up really blocking the pores. Well, the notion is that if I use oils, which we will jump in a little bit when we start doing product talk, the basis of our brand being mainly oils, is that if you have larger pores, you're often feeling, or you are breaking out, you often say, ooh, mimi siweki mafuta kwa uso yangu because I have oily skin. Anyone feels like that? Yeah. But really the opposite is that we need more oils if we have oily skin. And if we actually are going to use waxes, which most creams are wax-based because it's getting water and mixing it with an emulsifier. An emulsifier, mostly they're waxes. And then, of course, introducing a preservative. When we mix that, we get that creamy-looking look that we admire, but truly it's basically water, oil, or butter, plus a wax to give you that creamy look. So why not have the real thing? And the wax, of course, when it gets into your pores, what happens? It will clog. If it's the wrong wax, it will start to clog your pores. Then we start having the ardent sebum, which is blackheads and whiteheads for white-skinned people. So the way to manage that, if you have clogged pores, is by introducing oils, because as you put oils on, they will start to help kind of soften that sebum and also avoid stripping your own natural oils. So talking about probiotics for the skin. So having a healthy microbiome is going to help us fight infection. It's going to help good bacteria start to colonize our skin microbiome. So what are some of the ways that you can achieve that? That yogurt that you eat, don't just eat it on the outside, use it as your mask. You can make a simple topical mask by getting our Ellie Bianca oil, a couple of drops, or coconut oil, mix it with your yogurt, and just apply it on your skin. I do that once a week, and I love the look of my skin afterwards. So don't be afraid to get dirty. If you have a little garden, siseme mimi ni wa Nairobi sitaki uchafu, get dirty, right? Get dirty a little bit. Have your little flower garden, because this is how we build a strong microbiome. So eat healthy foods. More importantly, it's funny how North America, they're coming back to our roots. When I see white people talking about fermented foods as if it's just a new novel idea. I mean, tumekunywa fermented porridge for how long? So let's go back to that. I mean, I loved, again, my mom, she's the center today. Thanks, Mom, for that porridge that you used to make. No one makes it better than you. Thanks again, Mama. So embrace fermented foods. There's others that you can make, but let's start with the porridge. Let's make that porridge. Let's not do too much tea and bread. Let's enjoy that porridge. You can have porridge in the morning as breakfast. You can have it as lunch. You can even have it for dinner. Fermented. And we do other classes on fermentation. We will talk about that next time when we come. Stay hydrated. Drink lots of water. So the best way, like Joyce indicated earlier, when you get up, do a flush. So drink about 500 to a liter. You drink that one. But throughout the day, be sipping on your water. Yeah, not drinking all at once, but just be sipping on it throughout the day. So up to 2 liters. Minimize, I've talked about this enough, minimize the use of antibacterial soaps. Sweat often. You know, I'm loving the health movement I'm seeing in Nairobi. So get out there, break some sweat. It serves as a prebiotic. And then, of course, try a topical probiotic. Put that yogurt on your face. And there is your recipe. It's really simple. Plain yogurt. Again, plain yogurt. Why you don't want to have the sugar or the one that might have fruit in it? It's funny because I have also seen food colors in yogurt, which is basically fairly toxic. So go straight with plain yogurt or mala, right? Get the mala on. Even better, the one you ferment. So in the oils, these are our signature products. Everyone loves them. It doesn't matter what your skin type is, whether you have oily skin, whether you have combination skin, everyone loves the oils. They just work. And we've done a variation of scents to really help you to address different issues. So if you, and I'm going to touch on that a little bit. Yeah, so the oils have a blend of 12 oils, 12 different oils, where we've researched each one of them to make sure that we're giving you that beautiful glowing skin, we are balancing your own oil production, and we're kind of hydrating from the inside as we hydrate from the outside as well. And our serums are oil-based, so you're getting the benefit, but they're lighter, and they're going to penetrate. If it's Emotel, for someone who is breaking out and they're really wanting to deal with bacterial acne and the like, the Emotel serum, I don't know which table has that one. is going to help you with the breakout, but again, you use it with the oil. And you just use that one at night. Glow is the only one you can use day and night. Rejuvenate, I like Rejuvenate. It's more for mature skin, but it's actually suitable in Kenya for the sun because you're outside, you're exposing yourself to sun exposure, so you want to use Rejuvenate to rejuvenate your skin and also start boosting cell regeneration much faster. Yeah. So the oils first, what you have in there, you have shea oil, which we get from Chad. Remember, that's how it all started. I wanted that woman to be able to put the money in her pocket and have her independence. So shea oil comes from Chad. And shea is really, really important because it has 73% of oleic fatty acids. If you're breaking out, it's because your linoleic acids and your oleic acids are low. So you need oils to start rebuilding them so that your skin sebum is not struggling and in return starting to produce too much oil. So shea, very, very important. We also have olive oil in the oil. So again, remember we talked about skin food, ingredients that we love to eat. We love to put olive oil on our salads. And again, don't cook olive oil in high temperatures because you change the chemistry. We love it on our salads, but we also love it on our skin. We use pure olive oil that is virgin from Spain. Actually, the Spanish olive oil has a different scent. Just even when we are making the product in the lab, you almost just want to eat it. But olive oil is rich in antioxidants. It's a very stable oil. It has vitamin E. Vitamin E is super important in neutralizing free radicals, again, especially if we are exposing ourselves to the sun. It's going to help reduce the visibility of scars, while the polyphenols in there are going to reduce the visibility of wrinkles and start stimulating the collagen production that is a big thing now, right? We can produce it naturally. If you're outside, and you're burning, they say that olive oil is going to help you, instead of burning, it gets your skin to have a beautiful tan. Borage is huge, again, in North America. I recommend taking borage internally, so take that oil internally, but also we include in the oil because borage is the only plant on earth with the highest gamma-linolic acids. So the GLA, they're basically omega-6 fatty acids, and you're having about 25%. The only plant that will have about 20 to 24% in it, and it's super essential fatty acid. The GLA are going to help with lots of skin disorders, including eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, acne. So honestly, this is the true skin food when I talk about what we eat and what we put on the outside. That's why it had to be included in our product. But you have to know where your borage is coming from. So we get our borage from Spain or New Zealand. So always know, it's not just about what the product or what you're eating, always know where it's coming from. And at Ellie Bianca, we follow the chain of custody up to the farmer. How did they grow the product? How did they process it? Then, of course, there's evening primrose. Evening primrose has similar properties as borage, just that evening primrose has a little lower, about 50% less GLA than borage. But evening primrose is a guru when it comes to skin beauty. We had to make sure that it was included in our product. Rose hip is another one that is in that blend among the 12. Rose hip is full of vitamins, it's full of antioxidants, it's full of essential fatty acids. It's been known to correct dark spots, it really hydrates the skin, it's going to reduce the appearance of scars and fine lines. And if you've been outside, normally if I go for a run, I quickly come home and I rinse my face and I put our oil on, but truly I'm going after the rose hip. The rose hip stimulates cell regeneration. So if you've had scars, rose hip is going to help you for that. And rose hip, when we drink rose hip tea, it just works magic. If you have a cold or onset of a cold, you take rose hip. For me, it's actually the go-to for a lot of, if I'm starting to feel funny, the sickness goes away. Super, super powerful. In the blend, we've included castor oil. Castor oil is also another one that it's an anti-inflammatory oil. So again, it fights lots of skin conditions, but really, I was going after giving the customer the full experience. Castor oil is, I don't know when you're putting the oil, how your skin is feeling. Are you feeling the softness? Castor oil is really responsible for that. Jojoba oil, I've actually had the opportunity to go to Argentina where we get jojoba oil to see how they produce it. Jojoba is a wax. So jojoba, again, super, super, super important because jojoba mimics the skin sebum. So when you put it on your skin and it gets into the dermis layer and you get to the sebaceous glands, the skin thinks that it's really the sebum. It's that natural oil production. So you will see jojoba in almost all our products. Yeah, so I've kind of touched on a few of the ingredients, not all of them, but these are the key ones. There's also coconut in there. There's also sweet almond. There's also baobab in the serums. There's also marula oil in the serum. There's so together, this choice of ingredients really give you the beautiful glowing skin. I mean, that's all I use. And I get lots of compliments on my skin. And I don't wear makeup. And I don't say don't wear makeup. It gives me the option of not wearing the makeup. Because the skin has evened out. Yeah. So we're going to do a quick demo now so we can show you how to use the product.